Welcome to God of War, it's Abyss, bringing you all the collectibles for the region, the Rivers Past. Like always, in the description below we'll have timestamps for each individual collectible, just in case there's a certain one you're missing. Alright, so as soon as we get to this area, just walk straight ahead, and to the right of the climbable cliff, you're going to notice our first lore.
There's a Jotnar settlement ahead.
Jotnar.
Giants.
You can read the writing.
Some. Just a line.
Alright, next up is our legendary chest. We're going to climb that cliff right there. It's going to fork off to the left or the right. We're going to go towards the right, which will be able to pick up the legendary chest. Next up is our second lore. This one is story related. You have to have Arterius read it in order to proceed.
This used to be a marketplace. The giants used to gather here to trade with the gods a long time ago. Wonder if Odin was ever here.
Next up is our shrine. We're going to navigate our way to the very top of this area. Then you have a chance to go either right toward the Nornir Chest or left to the shrine, in which we're going to go left first.
Look here. Another.
Next up is our Nornir Chest. This one's very easy to open. It just requires you to destroy 3 ruins. Now, one is located beyond this bridge here, which I recommend you drop in the bridge to make it easier to hit. The next one is located to the right of the Nornir Chest, and in between the chest and the bridge is the third one that's located. After you destroy all 3 of those ruins, then you'll be able to open the chest. Alright, next up is our artifact. We're going to get to a point where we have to shimmy across this edge right here. We'll fall around to the right slightly, and then we're going to go down this chain. Once we get to the bottom, we're going to follow it forward a little bit until we run into a dead soldier, in which then we'll be able to pick up the artifact.
You waiting for? Come on already! Let's go!
Alright, so for the Odin's Raven, we're going to go back up that chain, go slightly to the right, and then you'll be able to hit it.
What you waiting for? Come on already! Let's go!
Then directly behind this Odin's Raven is our Mystic Gateway. Alright, next up is our shop. Just continue along the story. When you get to the bridge, there'll be a small cutscene in which then you'll be able to pick up your shop. Alright, for our second artifact, we're going to go towards the right over here from the shop, and then we're going to drop down a small cliff, in which then we'll run into a dead soldier, and we'll be able to pick up our artifact.
Aw, I didn't even see this here.
Alright, so next up is our Nornir Chest. So continue on to the story until you get to this death trap, then make your way to the top. Now you have to make the trap go up in order to hit the very first ruin right there. Then turn directly behind us, and then be able to hit the second one, which is very easy to find. And then we'll go through this hole right here to the right, and be able to hit the third one. And then once you destroy all 3 ruins, you'll be able to open the chest. Next up is our third artifact. Just to the right of the chest, just jump this pathway right here. You'll run into a dead soldier on the right, and then you'll get our third artifact.
Ooh, good find.
Alright, next up is our fourth artifact. You're going to have a nice little cutscene of the mountain. Once that happens, just go slightly to the right, and then you'll be able to pick up your fourth artifact.
Those. Good.
Alright, next up is our fifth artifact. Once you solve this sand puzzle right here, you'll enter this doorway, and then you're going to go off towards the left, in which then you will run into your artifact. Alright, next up is our Odin's Raven. So from the entrance of this cavern where we solve that sand puzzle, you're going to continue forward until you see some light coming into the cavern. If you look straight ahead, you'll be able to hit the Odin's Raven. Alright, next up is our Odin's Raven. So continue on to the path until you drop down from a cliff. Then you're going to have a battle with an ogre. After you defeat the ogre, just look straight up, and then you'll be able to hit the Odin's Raven. Alright, next up is our Nornir Chest. Now this particular chest requires you to hit 3 ruins in a quick succession. So there's 2 right by the chest, and there's 1 in a distance by the Odin's Raven. So you aim for this one first, hit that, then quickly hit the 2 by the chest. If you hit them fast enough, then you'll be able to open the Nornir Chest.
The chest should be open now.
Alright, next up is our lore. So directly behind this chest, we're going to boost our boy up right here, and then he'll drop down a chain. Climb the chain and go off towards your left, and then you'll run into our lore.
Here. Boy.
Huh. Interesting. I may want to write that down.
Alright, next up is our Odin's Raven. So continue on in this story until you get to a place where it looks like a bunch of abandoned houses. Once you get there, you'll drop down a cliff, and then before you drop down completely, look off to your right, and you'll see Odin's Raven sitting on the edge of the house. Alright, next up is our artifact. Now this is still within the same area. It's just behind one of these houses you'll find a dead soldier, and then you'll find your artifact. So we're in the second half of the collecting, and this is the point where we're going to need to at least have our chaos blades in order to get a couple of these collectibles. So starting from the bottom of the witch's cavern, where the boat is, you're going to dock your boat basically there, or if you didn't dock your boat. But to the left would be the Mystic Gateway, and we're going to be starting from right there. So from the Mystic Gateway, you'll take the lift up, and then we're going to go slightly to the left. We're going to jump over a couple gaps, and then you'll walk right into the Legendary Chest, in which you most likely already got this when you were doing the story earlier on. Alright, next up is our lore. So we're going to navigate our way over these gaps, and then we're going to go off towards the right a little bit, and it's going to be like a well. So basically we're going to climb this well up and out of this place, and then we're going to get some collectibles on the top of this cavern. But as we're climbing up this well, you'll notice that we can pick up a lore.
Turn back Aesir. Guess the gods aren't welcome here.
Alright, next up is our lore. So once we exit this well, you'll see the lore right here. But in order to get it, we need to grab a blue crystal and have Arterius shoot it. So we're going to travel around this well, and then you'll be able to pick up a crystal real quick, place it to the left of that lore, have Arterius shoot it with a blue arrow, and then you'll be able to get the lore.
Look here.
Interesting.
Next up is our artifact. So turn around from this lore right here, and then continue the pathway to the witch's hut. And then on the right, you'll notice it's dead soldier, in which then you'll be able to pick up the artifact. Alright, next up is our lore. So make your way into your basically right in front of the witch's hut. So either the turtle, you'll be able to see him, or you won't see him depending on where you are in the story. But if you go to the right of it, you'll run right into our 6th lore.
What does it say?
Yes, sir. Save their Nethines upon all who trespass.
Alright, so next up is our 7th lore. Now, I counted 7, but the very second lore was, you had to read it in order to proceed the story, so the game probably doesn't count that one as a lore. So I wanted to list every single one of them just in case. But this lore is located to the left of the only chain that's in this area.
What does it say?
Yes, sir. Death to the Raven God, Lord of the Hang.
Alright, so next up is our artifact. So just climb this chain right here, go slightly to the right, and then you'll run into the dead soldier, in which there is your artifact. Alright, so next up is our Odin's Raven. From the artifact, go slightly to the right, and then you'll see a cliff in which the Odin's Raven is sitting on. Alright, next up is our Legendary Chest. So from the Raven, we're going to go all the way to the right over here, and this right here at the very edge of the cliff will give us an answer to our sand pedestal. After we have the answer, we're going to go down to that sand pedestal, and Arterius will solve the riddle, and basically we'll be able to pick up our Legendary Chest, which is right in front of it.
Wait, must be for that sand bowl down there.
What does it say?
falcon, hawk, and turtle dove. Swim aloft in oceans above. Ah, wind. Vineyard. Look what it did!
Alright, next up is our Nornir Chest. If you notice around this legendary chest, we have a brand new column just built. On the right hand side is a green orb that we're going to grab, and we're going to transfer it to the left column. Then we'll go back up to that cliff to where we found the answer to that sand pedestal. We're going to take that orb out of that left column, and then we're going to bring it to right where that raven was. Below it is another spot we can transfer that orb into. Okay, so in order to open a Nornir chest, we need to have the letter B in 3 different positions. So you notice this post up here I'm throwing my axe at, and it's starting to change the symbols. So throw it at the bottom one again, and you'll have the B facing towards the right for the top one, and the bottom one, the B is facing up. Now the third one is located in this green orb. It'll be rotating around and around until you remove that orb out. Once it's facing up, take that orb out and transfer it to the other orb that's above the Nornir chest. Once you line up all 3 symbols correctly that's matching on the chest, then you'll be able to open it. Alright, so the remaining collectibles are inside the Witch's Cavern. So we're going to traverse right back to that well, go down to the bottom, and then I'll see you all in a bit.
Atreus, to me.
Yeah, I got it!
Alright, so next up is our last Nornir chest. In order to open this chest, you need to destroy 3 ruins. So what you're going to see right now is Arterius shooting some blue arrows to open up some new paths down below. Now the very first ruin is located right where that witch's well is. You can't miss it once you get to it. So that one's very easy to hit. Now the very next one is going to be, if you're standing right in front of the Nornir chest, you're going to turn around, and to the right of that red chest will be the next ruin, and you can kind of see some water falling down trying to block it. Alright, it's coming up right here. See to the right, and you can see the water trying to block the vision of it. Alright, and the third one's a little tricky to get. To the right of the Nornir chest, we need to open up a brand new path. Then you're going to be able to grab this red orb, and then to the left of the Nornir chest, there's a spot where you can throw it, have Arterius shoot a shock arrow, and then it'll open up a brand new path back there to where the hidden chamber is. Once you get to the very top, at the very top left will be our third and final ruin to destroy. Once you destroy all 3 ruins, then you're going to be able to open that Nornir chest.
That should do it.
Alright, next up is our legendary chest. So we're going to the left, that we just open that new path with that shock arrows. Once we get to the top, we're going to make a left, and then to the right will be a spot that we can boost Arterius up. Once he gets to the top, he can't get to the other side until you move this big block all the way to the right, in which then he'll jump on it. Then you're going to move it all the way back to the left, and then he'll reach the sand pedestal puzzle. Now the answer to that puzzle, you'll have to look up to the left and throw your axe at 3 pieces of wood, in which it will reveal the puzzle's answer. Then, once he uses that sand puzzle again, it'll lower the platform, and then you'll be able to reach that legendary chest on the right side.
This'll be fun. Almost there. It is. It's another one of those sand bowls. There are different rooms along the side of this one.
Boy,
Yes, sir. Bow.
Alright, so next up is our last legendary chest. This one's a little tricky to get to because it requires you to transfer a green ball of energy to 4 different locations. So first off, we're going to take this big block and we're going to move it to the center. Reason for being is when we get to the right side, we're going to use this to jump to the left. When we get to that left area, to the right is where that legendary chest is going to be at, once we transfer the 4th energy to it. Now, starting with that, we're going to go all the way to the right, and then where the Nornir Chest is, we're going to make a right, and then we're going to make a quick left to where another big block is. We're going to move that all the way to the very edge of the water, and then we're going to push it over to open up another path to where a green orb is, too.
Isn't that heavy?
yes.
Doesn't seem heavy.
Okay, so now that we have all the paths open, we need to go grab that green ball of energy. So where the Witch's Well's exit is, we're going to go to the right, and then we're going to start grabbing the energy. Now we're going to take this energy and transfer it to the first spot, which is located to the very left of the bridge. Then grab it again to reset the time, and then we're going to go to that spot where we just dropped that big brick into the water, and then we're going to transfer it right there. You'll notice there's a dead soldier where the artifact is, where we're going to go grab it later. Now from there, we're going to walk all the way around to that left area where we open up that new path with the shock arrow. And then we're going to open up another path to the right where Arteria's jumped up with our Chaos Blades. From there, we'll be able to grab that green energy one more time, and then we're going to go up to that new path that we just opened up with our blades, throw that energy into that right area. See right here to the right. And then we're going to reset our time, grab it one more time, and then we're going to jump across that area where we put the block at, and then to the right will be the door for the legendary chest. Throw it into that door, and then we'll be able to open the legendary chest. Okay, so next up is our last artifact. Do you remember when we dropped that big brick into the water? So basically we're going to go right there, and then to the left will be a dead soldier right underneath that green orb transferring spot, and then we'll be able to pick up our very last artifact. Okay, so next up is our hidden chamber. So to the left of the Nornir Chest, where we open up that path with the shock arrows, just go to the very top, and then you walk into the hidden chamber. Alright, so next up is our Mystic Gateway, very last one. So we're going to take this elevator all the way down to the bottom, and then you can't miss it, it's right on the right hand side. Alright, so next up is our last Odin's Raven. We're going to go to the area where the Valkyrie is. As soon as we enter that area, to the right, look up, and you'll see Odin's Raven sitting on a statue.
It's another Valkyrie. We're gonna save her, right?
If by save her you mean brutally rip her wings off, then my vote is aye.
Enough. Both of you. I will decide the best course of action.
Alright, so the last thing we need to do now is just defeat the Valkyrie, and then we will complete all the collectibles for this region. Now she is a formidable opponent, so I left the gameplay in just in case you could see something that could help you. The best tip that I can tell you is when she goes up in the air to do a certain attack, you can throw your axe at her to stun her. Now, she does summon enemies, this particular Valkyrie, so I don't know if you can throw your axe at her and it'll stun her that time. I didn't do it, or I didn't test that out. But other than that, I'd like to thank you all for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Felt that one, brother.
This one is louder than the last.
Milady, please tell us. Why were you in this physical form? Why fight us?
I do not know. The soul of a Valkyrie cannot remain pure in a physical body. We belong in the spirit world, which is where I now go. Goodbye!
Somebody made them this way. Who? And why?
I